Hello, kid Knicks fans. Welcome to another episode of the KnicksWilding podcast, episode 71. Thank you for joining us again here as we record after the Knicks lose to the Utah Jazz. It's like we keep recording after losses. I'm gonna have to shape up and start recording after win, but it was a nasty, tough loss that I know we're gonna get into. But we got some guys up here today. Special guest, big fan of the show. Been dying to jump on for a minute, and it's finally made it happen. Big, he's the most popular guy on Twitter.
Man,
Let's say
come on.
what's good to Al Diddy, aka Free Dats, man. Tell the people who's
What up?
really
What
good.
up? What's up? Que lo que? Que lo que? Is that the greeting for the show?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
welcome to the
repping.
show, bro.
Good, man. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it. Haven't really done this podcast thing, but it's good to get on and talk about certain topics about my favorite team. We obsess about this thing. We're like on social media 24/7 talking the same thing over and over, and we don't get tired of it, even though they piss us off and they bring our blood pressure all the way up the hell up. You know what I mean? So let's go.
Yeah. Al, you from the down South Florida? Tell me how you became a Nick fan. What's your Nick backstory?
Well, I'm originally from New York, but I grew
Okay.
up in Miami, Florida. So, I mean, what is it called? I started watching the Knicks like in the late '90s. Watching Spreewell, Houston, Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, those guys, and I mean, the thing is that what is it called? It's Miami Heat territory. I'm going down there. I'm going to a lot of the games down there. I went to the games down in Miami Arena. I went to the games in American Airlines Arena. One of the things that me and one of my siblings, my sister, we have like what is it called, this bond between us that we've been going to Knicks games since the '90s, but in Miami instead of New York. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it's like enemy territory. You're like all these crazy Heat fans go, and like you have to like battle them. But you know what? Like Knicks fans used to take over back then, so you were like kind of safe back there during when you were in the arena. So it was always a good time because I mean, honestly, we dominated back then. That rivalry. Now, not so much, but it
A
was a
long
good time.
time. It's been a long time since we dominated. They've dominated us for the last few years, long
Yeah.
years.
Exactly. And we kind of became sort of a laughing stock of the NBA over the last 20 years, which I didn't imagine it. But just front offices after front offices fumbling, don't know what they want to do, and I mean the owner finally he's taken a seat back and has let the front office do some good things. A little bit better than past front offices, but we're moving in the right direction. So let's see what happens.
Mm.
Yes, sir, man. That's an interesting story. And I've been going to two arenas the last 3 years, so I need to get down to Florida. I haven't been there to the Orlando or Miami game. Closest I've been to is Atlanta. Atlanta was pretty tough. Charlotte was pretty good as well. A lot of Knicks fans. Knicks fans, man, we travel.
Yeah,
We
Travel.
I
travel
was
like
just gonna say. I mean, I'm pretty sure they show out still in Miami, even though
oh
we
yeah.
haven't been winning. But I'm pretty sure that that's another arena
That
where we pack
Randall
the house.
shot, it turned into MSG South right there when Randall hit that three.
Hmm.
That was a crazy game winner last year. But Don Juan, man, was really good, my brother. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Just I kind of forgot about that game yesterday. Mary was like, "Yeah, we're gonna talk about that." I'm like, "What game, man?" Threw that
Yeah.
in the garbage, ripped up the stat sheet. I really didn't want to talk about it, but of course we're gonna talk about it in a few. But I feel good, man. I feel good. As we getting closer to Christmas time. The vibes. Wrapping up gifts and all that. Getting excited to see the fam. Like it's been a while, even though Thanksgiving. But the extended family where we get together and see other people that are gonna come from out of state and whatnot. But just enjoying the moment. But realistically, man, it's looking scary with my Knicks, man. We heading a tough stretch, West Coast trip. Where we're gonna play some top tier teams that seem like a lot of those teams that we're gonna face are kind of gelling right now. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Dominican. We know how to party. We know how to party, and I know that is gonna be crazy at those Christmas parties. I know how they get. But let's get into it, fellas. Knicks versus Jazz. Disappointing. The Knicks, they just didn't show up to Utah. And good teams like that. We figure the Knicks are. I mean, these are the games that you have to win. Which they have been doing all season.
Yeah.
Despite a few hiccups, they've been beating teams that they're supposed to beat. But Utah's not a tough place to. It's not an easy place to play. With the altitude and all that other stuff that be going on. And I feel like the Knicks have an Achilles heel, and it's big men that can shoot. You see KP be cooking us up all the time. Laurie Markkinen was cooking us yesterday. So they do struggle there. They do struggle there. So I knew this game was gonna be tough, especially when Laurie he starts playing. He's been out all these games and he comes back for this game in particular. And he even sitting out today. But it was just disappointing in the way the Knicks lost, fellas. I mean, 9 for 39 from the three, shoot 23% there. You go 22 and from 32 from the free throw line, and you lose this game by four. And I felt like the Knicks they showed up in the last 8 minutes of the game. They dominated in the first quarter, and then they just took off the second and third quarter and came back in the fourth. So that's why I'm so disappointed in that loss because we're gonna talk about it, and we already mentioned it. The schedule does not get easier.
Mm-mm.
So tough one to put in the mirrors, fellas. But how you feeling, Don Juan, about this Utah game?
Man, that was disgusting to watch, bro. Since we already were looking forward to this West Coast trip, we figured, okay, we got to start off right. This is an easy dub. I mean, the Jazz are. I'm not even sure their record, but they're one of the worst teams in the league. So I figured, I'm pretty sure everybody figured, this is an easy dub, at least by double digits. Larry Markkinen, who missed a few games coming back, he's probably gonna come out rusty. And John Collins is out, another one of their better players. Like, it was a game that was supposed to be a cakewalk. And I guess, as a fan, but as a player, you got to go in there and seek to dominate, keep your foot on the gas all through the 48 minutes. And it seemed like, after that first quarter, which I felt like, those guys, based on the game flow, it was going to be a blowout, even though it wasn't that big of a lead. I think we were up 9, but even still, just how it felt like, oh yeah, this is going to be one of those games where we don't look back and we just keep pushing. And instead, second quarter, you underestimate your opponent. These guys gonna catch you by surprise, and I felt like that's what it was pretty much all game. Where we were leaving guys open, not really talking on defense, and if anything, that was more of the lack of respect that they have for the opponent across. Man,
Mhm.
these guys are in their home court. They haven't been winning many games, so they're gonna put up a fight. And especially when people are probably showing out for a Nick team that like we were saying earlier, their fans do travel. Well, I'm not sure how many fans they have in Utah, but I'm sure that even a team like New York will still gather some fans, especially the Jazz, who do have a pretty good fan base. That place, no matter if they win or lose, they do have a good crowd that goes out there, and they talk a lot of smack too. You can ask Westbrook, they've been getting in his head for years now, and I'm pretty sure they were doing the same last night to our guys, and for some reason or another, they didn't show up. They were probably looking at Phoenix, they were probably looking at the Lakers and Clippers coming up. They were like, yeah, this is nothing, man. And to see their performance last night, especially on the defensive end, that's where is a big turnoff for me, because that's our go-to, that's our motto, that's what we live by. And not only just this last game, but these past few games, the defense hasn't been there at all. So I'm really starting to get worried with these guys, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Hopefully, it's not a start of things to come.
Definitely.
Hopefully not. But how you feeling, Al? Man, I know Al. He was texting me like Jalen Brunson stuck. Trade RJ tomorrow. I'm like, bro, calm down.
Oh
He just
man,
like such a reactionary fan, man. I love it. I love it. I just be dying. I just be laughing at all his messages.
I had a I had a couple drinks last night, so I
Yeah,
apologize.
I don't blame you, man.
Sorry about all that. But you know what? I fully came into last night thinking I was expecting a win. We start off the road trip. I thought we were going to start off strong on a good note. And the first quarter we had it. I mean, Randall was hitting shots. He was dominating his opponent. The Jazz were playing sloppy, and I even tweeted it out. I was like, we were up by like 10, and I was like, okay, we got this in the bag. But little did I know,
oh,
little I don't know. You go back, you check my tweet. I said we got this in the bag. I should have erased it. Once again, the Jazz took advantage of our perimeter defense. They hit like 16 shots, like you mentioned. Markkinen got hot. He hit the first shot of the game. Uh, Chris Dunn got hot, and Colin Sexton went on a stretch where he hit like three straight 3-pointers. There was a point in the fourth quarter where I texted you. We discussed this where THT and Colin Sexton, they were taking turns on Jalen Brunson. He was barbecue chicken, crazy. That's another one of the concerns. Like teams taking advantage of Jalen Brunson. But our defense is falling off a cliff. There's no communication on switches. People are getting uncontested layups. What is it called? Transition defense has been horrendous. What is it called? They don't communicate. That they throw an outlet pass, and these other opponents are getting open shots. I don't know if you guys noticed, they were using like these fake screens where they go and they're about to screen, but they pop out on the other side and they get an open shot. And the what is it called? The other man, they weren't communicating at all. So what is called Linick was getting open shots. Fontecchio was getting open shots. Markkinen was torching us. It was insane. We were, like I said, we were up by 10, and they did one of those fake screens, and Markkinen hit a three. Granted, we scored on the other end the next time, but then again they came in with the next possession. They came with the fake screen again, and they hit another three. So that's us down six. As far as our offense, free throws, free throws, free throws, free throws, and like I've been expressing to you, Brunson, another bad night from the free throw line. I don't know how many free throws he missed, but that's like his Achilles heel at this point.
Right now, yeah.
Grimes, he missed two straight free throws. He got the city of Salt Lake City got free Chick-fil-A. Everybody started clapping. RJ Barrett, 0 for 7 from the 3-point line. You got to go back to what makes you successful. We all know RJ Barrett is elite at getting to the rim, and he wasn't doing that. If he does that, he gets some easy shots. He gets his confidence up, and maybe he gets a two or three threes. We never know. And Josh Hart, I don't know. He wasn't in. He wasn't it at all. Granted, he had our defense clicking in the last quarter, but you can't miss all these open shots, man, when we need you. So yeah, that's basically a synopsis of last night's game. We should have had it, and now we're facing the Phoenix Suns with the big three. So you
yeah,
tell me.
man. This a disappointing loss. Just throw it in the garbage. It's a game you gotta throw in the garbage and move on, and look ahead. And speaking of looking ahead, it does not get easy for the New York Knickerbockers. They play 7 road games. They play 9 games against teams all over 500. 7 of them are on the road. 2 of them are at home, and both of them against the Milwaukee Bucks, who just been wiping the floor against us at that in-season tournament, and just overall in all the last few years. They have three. They have 3 back-to-backs in this. No, 2 back-to-backs. It's a whole mess, fellas. It's a whole mess. And I'm gonna read you through the games who they play: at Phoenix, at LA Clippers, at LA Lakers, Brooklyn, Milwaukee again, OKC, Orlando, Indiana, and Minnesota to close out. That's pretty daunting. Um, How y'all feeling about that, fellas? How y'all feeling? My favorite game here is to give a prediction. So give me a prediction in those 9 games. I'm gonna start with you, Al.
Uh, this is hard, man. I mean, I'm gonna go. I have to go with Brooklyn, man. Brooklyn is our in-city rival. I'm hoping Julius Randle gets up for it, even though Julius Randle has been impressive the past month and a half. He's been, frankly, our best player.
You going prediction with what? You going with Brooklyn with what for what?
I'm going with the win. I'm thinking that we're gonna beat
No, but
Brooklyn.
in those 9 games, let me read it again to you. How many wins do you think we're getting here? Phoenix, Clippers, Lakers, Brooklyn, Milwaukee again, OKC, Orlando, Indiana, and Minnesota.
Uh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be kind of pessimistic here, so I'm going with 3-6, man. The way
Okay.
we've been playing, the way our defense is falling off a cliff, and if any of these what is it called? I mean, the first three teams, they have a big three, if you want to call it. Phoenix, they got Bradley Beal, KD, they got Devin Booker. They're all coming back. They're all coming back. Last time they beat us with their role players. With their role players. Imagine when they come back with their big three. LA, the Clippers, we beat them last time in resounding fashion. But this time, they're starting to click. They've started to win a few games. And the Lakers, I'm a little bit iffy. They just came fresh off that in-season tournament championship. And you know what? It's the Cam revenge game. So
Ah,
LeBron's gonna hype him up, get him in the best positions to score. So I don't know if Cam's gonna be up for that. So let's see what happens. So I'm thinking they're gonna beat the Brooklyn game. They're gonna win that Brooklyn game. Brooklyn has great players. They have really good role players. They can score from every position. But under no circumstances should we lose that game. Milwaukee, they've been dominating us. I mean, I tell you this much: 2018, I went for the Christmas game against Milwaukee, and I mean, we were a pretty bad team, but that was a bad memory. Uh, they're 2-0 against us this year. Last game we lost by like 20 points. They hit like 23 threes on us. And I mean, we had the poorest defense. This is like the beginning point of when our defense just like fell
so
off a cliff. After that, Celtics scored like 130 something points. Toronto scored I don't know how many, 130.
130.
And now the Utah Jazz, which they have a losing record, scored 117. So I mean, we, like you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we have a problem with these stretch bigs. Brook Lopez is like the X factor when we play the Bucks. He's always what is it called? We always play that drop coverage defense, so he's always finding himself open on the perimeter. KP, yesterday Laurie Markkinen, so that's our Achilles heel. These stretch bigs. What is it called? Once these guys get hot from the perimeter, you don't know what they're going to do. And unfortunately, they've been getting hot against us, and our defense has been pretty much lacking. And then
you're just not feeling good. You're not feeling good. I'm a
no,
con. I
we
can't.
play OKC.
I'm gonna have to take a breathe. Yeah, take a drink. Take a drink. Yeah, take a drink, man. My boy is going crazy right now. He's not feeling good. Don't want help him out. How are you feeling about these next few games?
I'm not feeling good, bro. I was over here listening to him, and I'm like, yeah, but and there's really no angle to it, man. This is a
Ah,
tough stretch of games. I mean, in a
yeah.
lot of these teams we've already played against, and without Mitchell Robinson, who I felt like, against the Clippers and against the Bucks, even though we have lost to the Bucks twice, and with against the Suns, Mitchell Robinson did pretty good against those teams. And the fact that we don't have him there this time around it's gonna be pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Although I do like the offense, even though it hasn't been pretty yet, or we haven't seen a full-fledged, good run with our guys. I do think that the offense still leaves us room to grow. I mean, Hardenstein definitely unlocks the team a little more as opposed to Mitchell Robinson, who we've seen Hardenstein make some great passes and whatnot. But I'm gonna agree with Al here. You know, I say 3-9 as well. You know, there's some with some wins back at the end of the month. I don't see any wins until Brooklyn. It's gonna be pretty tough. I mean, the Clippers. If we come out scoring, we come out. You know, the thing is that it all depends how we take this game, this Utah loss. If realistically, it all depends how we take. Right now, just looking at the games lined up, and we start picking teams. I say 3-9, 3-6. But you know, this slap in the face could change it all. And you mentioned Mario. You know, the altitude is definitely a factor. Obviously, they downplayed to the competition, but you know now they're going to Phoenix. There's no excuse there. I ran out of breath. None. There's none of that. Now we back to back to let's say back to day one. Forget about what happened. We got to start from scratch and realistically bring out your best performance. Jalen Brunson's been playing terrible. He's been cold from three. We got to get him right, and hopefully, you know, it takes a road trip like this to really gather the team. I mean, last year we were one of the best road teams in the league, and you know, this year we haven't really been that, but it takes a smack in the face to really set it off, and especially an extended like an extended break from being home with the family and just being with the guys and building that camaraderie. Even though we that's been our bread and butter right there too. A lot of these guys have that familiarity from being together for years or just having friendship outside of the court. That you know you would think that, oh yeah, these guys would click right away, but as you can see, it's not. That's not how life works, and that's not how basketball works. At the end of the day, it's still humans out there. Everybody wants to score. Everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to do that. Everybody has their own um accomplishments that they want to do as well, but it takes a little getaway to kind of get on the same page. And I think maybe that smack in the face could get us some more dubs, but I'm gonna stick to that 3-9 play. I mean,
Three
three
and
and
six.
six for the next 9 games,
Yeah.
and just it's gonna be a cold December, man. It's gonna be a pretty cold December, fellas. So,
Damn, my guys, this is not feeling good at all. I'm gonna take a little different angle because I'm usually the more doom and gloom guy on this show. Zebo and Don Juan always take the trophy, celebrating and thinking optimistically. So I think now that you guys are pessimistic here, I am actually feeling a little bit of optimism, and I'm gonna just it's kind of what Don Juan briefly touched on. Two things he briefly touched on that I want to harp on more, and why I'm feeling a little more optimistic. Number one, you mentioned it. This team has is tough. This team is well coached. As much as people want to fire Tibbs, you know they're gonna come prepared and ready with Tibbs. And I think this Utah game kind of sparked them a little bit. Kind of, like you have to be on your toes. And when you look at these next 9 games, the majority of them they're going to be underdog. So when the Knicks are underdog, they usually fight and claw and show some life. So I think that they will on this road trip. And something else that you briefly touched on, Don Juan, is just we haven't had a complete game from like the squad like consistently. And what I'm really feeling good about, and I haven't said this in a while, is Julius Randle. And he's really balling and showing out. So I'm feeling good because of that. Because if we get that Julius, and if we just get a Jalen Brunson game here, like that game in Milwaukee, where Julius didn't play well, but JB did. If we could get two of those, or we could get RJ back in rhythm, this team is good. This team is good. As much as people, uh, my our other boy Ernst was just texting me like this team is gaga. I had Al Diddy and my boy Ernst just texting me a whole bunch of nonsense last night, and it's like we react to every game, which like I said, I love talking about it. But I feel like the Knicks gave that loss away. We just got to tighten up. We just got to tighten up. 9 for 39 from three. We lost by 5 points, fellas. We make two threes, we win that game. We missed 10 free throws. We make 5 of those, it's a different ball game. You know what I mean? So I just think we keep shooting ourselves on the foot. Granted, that could just be a roller coaster effect, and it can derail a season, obviously. But this team has shown this team's been together for 2 years now, and they've shown toughness throughout the 2 years. So I'm gonna flip it on you, and I'm gonna go 6-3. I don't like the Phoenix
woo!
matchup. I don't think we win that Phoenix game coming up. But I think we split in LA. We get to split in LA. We got to beat Milwaukee. Nah, come on. We're not going to lose four in a row to them. Let's win one. Let's beat
Last
Milwaukee at least one time. We play them both at home. Take care of business at home. We beat them one. Indiana, Brooklyn. We take care of those guys. Orlando, they're a young team. They're gonna come to. They not ready for us right now. And we take over Orlando. Our Diddy, he knows we take over Orlando. So we're gonna take it. And I don't know any other game mixed in there, but I feel good for the
OKC.
squad, man. I feel good about the squad. OKC, yeah, we might lose that OKC game. That OKC,
Let
but
me let me ask you a question. So, in coming into the season, our strong point was supposed to be since all of our players are coming back, and the rest of the teams are adding a lot of pieces. Like, for example, you see Boston, they lost Marcus Smart, which was the heart and soul of that team. They picked up KP. They picked up what is it called? What's the guy from Holiday? So they had a lot of changes, and so did Milwaukee. They had a lot of changes too. Um, our strong point was supposed to be continuity. These guys are supposed to be already gelled, clicking together, and obviously it hasn't been the case. So, I mean, what do you guys think is going on? Because I'm a little concerned, to be honest. Like, I thought we were gonna just come out the gate swinging, but I mean, we haven't seen it. We see little spurts here and there, but I'm a little concerned, especially with this road trip coming up.
I mean, bro, obviously, just sometimes talent wins. And you're talking about, you know, Milwaukee added a top 15 player when they already have a top five player. So yeah, it's gonna take some time to adjust, but you just talent just wins sometimes, and they're just overall talented Milwaukee. And as far as Boston, I mean, they added a top five defender, Drew Holiday, who always plays the Knicks well. And I mentioned in the beginning of the show, they added KP, who's just like one of the worst players for the Knicks of guard. He's just it's just not only that he shoots the three well, he just shoots it from so far. And it's hard for the Knicks to really rotate and get there in time.
Yeah.
And he's knocking them down. So they're just good teams. They're just good teams. And yeah, that was our main suit. And we talked about that all summer. We talked about how I said it multiple times. Dog one Zebo. I said, yo, the Knicks need to come out the gate flying because that's our strong suit.
Yeah.
And it's been a little disappointing that we haven't. But listen, we 13-10 right now. Our best start in a decade. Has it been great? Has it been, awesome? No, but we've done what we're supposed to do. We just haven't beat those good teams yet. And we keep building, and I think we'll come out on top.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
And that's what it is realistically, is that we haven't beat any good team,
Mm-mm.
and none of those top tier teams. And this is our first loss against a bad team. So, it's one of those things that at the end of the day, you got to wake up and play the game that's in front of you. And I feel like Tibbs is the right man to make that message clear on the board every game. And I feel like maybe that message wasn't clear for in this game. Realistically, I feel like maybe there was some poor effort on the scouting report.
For
The
sure.
guys were probably just chilling, like, yeah, it's Jazz. I mean, the Jazz, like I said, man, if they're not the worst team. They're damn near the bottom, 8-16. So damn, there's a lot of bad teams in the league this year. Jeez.
No, the NBA is a joke with the bad teams this
And
year. I
then
mean,
and then I forgot to mention, we've also had a pretty tough schedule throughout throughout the start. So, and it
we've
seems like
lost
it's
10
continued.
games, two against Boston, two against Milwaukee. I mean, that's 40% of our games lost right there.
Mhm.
That Phoenix game was frustrating, yeah, but I mean, it's still a pretty solid squad. But let's keep it pushing, fellas. Here, as the Knicks, they're 10-13 right now, so they play 25% of the season already. So let's get into like a little bit of quarter report. Let's check in on the squad here, quarter season. Um, I want you guys to give me a quarter. I'm gonna give you a player, and you guys give me their give me their grade. Give me their grade. You can be fair, you can be harsh, man. I'm gonna react to that grade. First, I want to start with Randall. I'm gonna. Oh, look who just joined the show. I just had to mention the word Randall. This guy hasn't even been here all. Look, fella, look at this. Look. I don't know. I had the Randall back call signal. That's how I was able to bring this guy into the show. Debo, I was just about to get somebody Randall here on the quarter report grading system, but come on, I couldn't give that to nobody else. I'm glad he was able to join, man. How you feeling
It
though,
was
Bree?
good, man. We here, bro. My phone I'm a little late. You know, life, life treating your boy like the next man. Like, sheesh, man, your boy cannot catch a break. But we here though. We here. We still grinding.
Yeah,
It's good.
it is what it is, man. Just stay up, keep your head up all the time, and take the next few games off of watching the Knicks if you're not feeling good. 'Cause I don't know if that's really gonna make you feel better. But,
I don't know, especially now. Randall on this hot streak. Now I'm definitely tuned in right now. The
okay,
RJ, I'm
so,
not gonna lie. RJ going 0 for 6 is a little hard to watch though. I ain't gonna lie. That's a
yeah,
little. And the Brunson 0 for 7, yeah. See that I ain't gonna lie. That's a little cringy. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah.
That's not good to
Yeah, that's
watch.
something else I forgot to mention yesterday. I mean, these guys just played terrible, Brunson and RJ. But
Yeah,
let's
bro.
go talk about this quarter season report. Sibo, I gotta give you Julius, and I'm disclaimer: don't forget Julius' horrendous start before you give him a grade.
I'm not. Listen, man. I'll be honest. I'll be objective, and I'm not. And this is gonna surprise y'all, but I'm gonna just give him a solid B. I'm gonna give him
Okay.
a solid B. The reason why is number one, the record. I mean, right now we're only 13-10. We're only 3 games above 500. He did have a horrendous start to this. Even though I defended him, I said that again, as far as the shooting, that's gonna come through. It was more the effort, it was more of those effort plays that he just I just didn't see it from him. But I think he definitely has stepped up the last 6-7 games. He obviously stepped it up for us in the in the in-season tournament. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a solid B, man. I mean, again, this is the lead, this is one of the leaders of the team. I expected our record to be a little better than this, and so have to keep him accountable for that. Obviously, Jalen Brunson is another person we're gonna keep accountable, which I know we obviously gonna talk about him now. But I think just because of the overall record and then just the starts of the season, I'm gonna give him a B.
Okay,
It's
that's
not
fair.
bad,
That's fair.
not great. Yeah, nah, not good. I mean,
Actually,
not great, but not bad either.
I would
He's
actually
solid.
give Randall B plus. He started off so badly, but man, he has been balling lately. He's been balling lately, and look his numbers: 22.4 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. I mean, it's kind of aligned to last year's All NBA third team.
And even
His shooting
2020, yeah.
is coming back up. His threes is he's just playing more. He's still holding the ball a lot, which is frustrating. Like it's just like slowing the ball down.
At times, but he's still making the right decisions. He's
And hit,
getting other people involved. Like even though Grimes had an 0 for 4 night from three, he's fine. He's finding
no,
them.
he's
It's like
doing
he's
an
really
amazing
like
job.
he's
Yeah, he's
trying
doing
to,
a great
yeah,
job.
like he's trying to get those guys involved because he knows at this point, like for me to get those one-on-one matchups, I need to get these guys involved because again, one of his weaknesses is that once that double team comes, he doesn't know, that's when the turnovers and that's when he starts holding the ball. So I think he knows the formula. Like, let me go ahead and stay close to the basket. Let me go ahead and
Yeah,
post
that's
up. I know I'm gonna get that automatic two. Let me limit the amount of threes I am taking because that's also been a big plus. And yeah, let me go ahead and live. Let me go ahead and score my twos. I know I'm gonna, I know I'm gonna hit it. I know every time I have somebody one on one, I'm definitely gonna make that shot. And let me just try getting my teammates involved. So, and the formula's working right
Yeah, let me move on before Zebo changes his grade to like A plus.
now.
'Cause he's already. I said he's holding the ball. He said
Yeah,
10
yeah,
times.
nah.
That ball doesn't move when it's in random. It's like post up, and then he passes it out. He jumps and passes it. But no, don't give me no. Don't, never mind. We moving on, Z.
Yeah,
We moving
before I change my mind, because now I'm thinking about it. I'm like,
on.
damn, I don't know.
Nah,
Man,
man, nah.
some good shots he's making right now.
Let's keep it pushing here with my brother Al. Um, let me see your quarter report on a player like Emmanuel quickly.
So
Al.
let me talk about Randall real quick before I jump on quickly. To be fair, I'm one of the biggest Randall criticizers, but at the same time, you got to think about that surgery he had in the off season. Okay, so it took a little bit of adjustment for him to start getting into playing shape. So I mean, you can attribute that slow start to him, but since then, since he's been on this hot streak, he's been distributing the ball, he's been scoring. I mean, he doesn't even take that many bad shots like he used to anymore. So he's been playing great. He's been honestly one of our most consistent players. But like I said, you mentioned quickly. I mean, last night, matter of fact, for the season, I'll give him a B. I think his minutes need to go up. I don't know, for some reason, he's at 18 minutes a game, and this is a contract year. You know, players always go ham during their contract years. For some reason, Tibbs is not giving him a chance, and we really needed him in certain aspects of the game last night. We needed his shooting, we needed his defense, but Tibbs with his rotations, sometimes he's not on point with them. So as far as quickly, I would give him a B. That's a little bit of the stats that I picked up. He's averaging a career high in scoring. His true shooting is a career high. His PER career high. Win shares career high, and his career low in turnovers for the Knicks. So I mean, he's looking like a gem. I mean, a lot of people say that the Knicks don't develop players, and well, you have one of the best examples here. He almost won Sixth Man of the Year last year, and now he's looking for a contract. So give him a chance. But I also saw in your what is called lineup of questions to ask Knicks grade as far as a quarter season. So I don't know how they do it in New York, but in Florida, how they grade your grades, they do it academic. They do an academic grade, they do an effort grade, and they do a conduct grade. And it's like, I don't know if you guys have this up in New York, A1A, A2B, or something like that. Okay,
nah, that's some down south shit,
yeah,
man.
yeah. I didn't know. I wasn't sure.
Down there.
So as far as their academic grade, I'd go with a C. They're beating up on bad teams, but they can't beat the good teams. So they're right in the middle. So I give them a C. As far as effort, they're giving satisfactory effort. So I give them a C. I still see them coming out what is called lackadaisical in third quarters, and that's kind of been the doom for some of our games. We don't come as hard as the next team during those games. And the third grade, I'd give them C. So for their conduct, their behavior, they've been pretty good. I mean, I see them. They're what is called really friendly with each other. Their attitudes have been mostly in check, especially Randall. You know, I haven't seen any outbursts from him like last season. But I've seen some of the complaints from certain players like Grimes. You know, he just went to the media the other day. Hart went to the media, and you know, Mitch, he's always on social media when he's not getting the ball or whatnot, or telling his trainer something. So as a what is it called quarter season score, I'd give them a C2C. So in all, they're a mid team. Let's
they show us. We got the down south grading system for Knicks. Only on this show we gonna get that down south grading system. But you said a lot of great points. You said a lot of great points on
Yo, real side note, real quick. I don't know if I know y'all spoke about the Jazz game, but the fact that Quickly only got 18 minutes after making 15 points, that was crazy. That's crazy. I know y'all did. I know y'all probably spoke about it, but the rotation with the guard, the minutes with the guards was a little questionable.
Hey, listen, we talked about this all summer, and then we knew this was coming, bro. The Knicks just have too many guards. Somebody's gonna suffer. Somebody's gonna take a minute cut. And the Knicks need to address this issue. It's a pressing issue that they need to address, and it's gonna keep happening every game. I mean, every game you see, if Quickly has a good game, DiVincenzo and Grimes, they have bad games. Grimes had a great game the other day. Quickly didn't play that game, but DiVincenzo didn't do. I think he had 0 points or 2 points. So DiVincenzo has a good game yesterday. Grimes is off. Quickly was held back because it's like Tibbs was just searching for like a
Yeah, that was
spark.
weird. That was weird though. I'm not gonna
And
lie.
and you know,
Yeah.
like it was bad. It was bad, but what Tibbs messed up and was the game was close at the end of the third. I think it was down like 4 or 5 points, and they just blitzed us to start the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
And Tibbs, you know, he gets nervous and made a drastic change and put in DiVincenzo again, put in Randall ASAP. So that's just the rotation and the Knicks really need to fix that because I don't trust Tom Thibodeau to keep on shuffling the decks all season. I mean, that's just not something that I think he's gonna do well. And we saw that yesterday. I felt like he fumbled the bag yesterday.
Mhm. Big
Yo,
time.
just yo,
Been
my
keeping
fault.
Randall
Another,
on the bench in the second quarter for too
yeah.
too much.
Another side note. I'm honestly, I don't know how y'all feel about this. I low key can't wait for for Taj Gibson to come because honestly, I'm good. I'm good with 18 minutes. The 18 minute the few minutes that Jericho Sims gives me, 2 rebounds. I'm good on that. Like he's
Well,
good.
Taj
He's
Gibson is
good.
not gonna
He's
play.
good.
He's not gonna play. He's
You
can't
know
be the
what?
man.
You know what? We gonna make a little side bet because to me, I think he's starting day. He's
Starting.
starting Christmas Day at center.
Starting,
Taj
He's
Gibson
starting
is
bro.
at center.
starting.
He's starting at center Christmas Day.
Bro is
Christmas
chilling
Day.
at home with his kids, kicked up on the couch watching the Knicks play.
Bro,
No, all right, Zebo. No
telling you right.
injuries. Taj Gibson is starting Christmas Day. That's what are you gonna bet? What is the wager on that?
Yeah, let's make it
Yeah.
interesting.
I
I'll
don't
give you to
know.
the end of the show. I'll give you to the end of the show.
Yeah. Nah,
I'll put
yeah.
up.
We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk.
I'll give you to the end of the show. So start thinking. Start thinking.
Yeah.
Taj Gibson started.
Sheesh.
I just don't see in a world where that's possible. I think he was bought in for his vet leadership here. You know, spell some minutes if an injury happens. Uh, coach up Sims on the bench, coach up Hartenstein on the bench. But to be playing, I just don't see it. I really don't see it at all. It's just like it is what it is. Like the Knicks are gonna play Sims. I mean, he's just a young guard that I mean, a young
We'll,
center that they.
we'll see. We'll see, bro. Like,
We'll
let's go
see.
through the grades. But I'm telling you that I think
We'll
that's
see. So
I think
yeah,
that's a
so
rotation.
Don Juan, I need you to give me very interesting one here. Mr. RJ Barrett started the season hot, got migraines, and I don't know, he hasn't been found since the migraines.
Yeah, it hasn't been the
So
same. It hasn't been the same since,
I'm
man.
interested
It's
to
tough
see
to
what you
grade
gotta
him
say.
because of that great start, and even though that there's the fan base is split. He has some haters. People want to trade him. Then he has the stands that RJ can't do no wrong. But it seemed like after the good start that he had, it seemed like everybody was like fully bought into RJ. I mean, Zebo for crying out loud was fully bought in. I mean, the man was talking smack about Randall and up in RJ. I mean, I never seen it before. It was good to see though. But that's the thing with RJ. That migraine thing really messed him up. And for me, being that he started so high, he keeps the grade a little high. But man, it's tough, man. You know what? I'm gonna give him a B minus. And I was really thinking about C plus, and it's because I got yesterday's performance in the back of my mind. But you got to realize that it's been 22 games of production that 20 because he missed 2 games, and he has been playing good. But like you said, Triple M, that migraine thing really changed him, and he actually has been putting up some points since, but it hasn't been officially. He completely lost the efficient ways that he was playing, and he was hitting. I mean, mid 40s from the field, low 40s percentage from the three, hitting free throws. I mean, the guy was doing things that we've honestly been like, wanting him to hit. I mean, to reach that level, not a superstardom, but like borderline all-star, and that's what he was playing up to. And he was even playing good defense. But ever since then, I don't know if he hasn't got used to the dynamic of the team. Maybe it changed a bit. I'm not really sure what that happened, but he lost his touch, and because of that, I'm gonna give him that B minus. We have seen flashes, like I said, especially at the beginning of the season, where it's like, damn, this guy could be, you know, third the third fiddle, maybe even second fiddle at times, where he's like, damn, okay, Brunson, you could take a night off, or Randall, you could take the night off, let RJ do his thing. But as of late, I mean, that hasn't been the case. He has been putting up his 20 some points, but not in an efficient way, and that's not how we win games here. We gotta the formula to win games. If you're gonna hit 20, make it off of 10, ideally, and he yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the lead. He led the team in shooting and attempts, and he was just completely off. At one point, I'm like, why are you still shooting? Like,
Yeah,
what's going
it's
on?
terrible. It's
And
terrible.
it's I guess it was just the way the whole team was playing. But I'm gonna give him a B minus. And like I said, it's mainly because of the great start. If not, it would probably be like a C.
Yeah, I'm actually have to push back on that. Like I did, I've pushed back on all y'all grades. But I'm gonna give RJ a C. I'm giving RJ a C because that's like it's year five. It's year five, and Don Juan, you made great points. Like we needed RJ to be that third guy. And when you talk about this start that we've all think has been disappointing at 13 and 10, I mean he's a reason. Think about it. We lost by 5 yesterday. This man went 0 for 7 from 3.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on. We just can't afford that. We can't afford that on this team. When we playing, we need everything to go right. Like we need everything to go right when we're balling out here, and we just can't afford RJ to go 0 of 7. And there was another game recently, he just disappeared, and it was we lost that game as well. So when we get on Randall and we talk about Brunson's struggle, we just can't forget about RJ because this is year five. I mean, we thought that he was over these slow starts, and it looked like
Yeah.
the slow start just came later. It came
Mhm.
later. It's like the FIBA uh, classics weared off, and now he's back to these horrendous starts. I mean, RJ stats the last 5 games. Let me look it up. They gotta be pretty bad. They gotta be pretty bad.
No, well, the thing is, look, against Toronto, he had 27. Boston Celtics, he had 23. Milwaukee had 23. But like that's why, and that's what I had initially without looking at the stat sheet. I had a C plus. Then I started looking back. I'm like, okay, he's actually putting up points, but it's the
Yeah,
way he's doing. I mean, he started off so good, and the fact that if I'm not mistaken, the last 10 games from three, he's shooting like 20%.
yeah. I mean, yesterday he shot 18%. The games before that was above 50. That's solid. But then 38, 33, 41, 23, 27.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like very inefficient and bad.
So if
Mm.
he's not hitting his 3 pointers, like I alluded to earlier, like you guys saw the Toronto game, how he was getting to the cup at ease. Why don't you
Yeah.
just go back to that part of your game? You can get to the cup at an elite level. Like get some easy shots, get some free throws, get fouled, and get some confidence under you. And then when you get an open shot from 3 point land, go see if it goes in. But I mean, if you're 0 from 7 from the 3 point line, why are you shooting? You're not J.R. Smith.
Yeah, and Al, I'm gonna tell you something real quick though. I feel like with RJ, and that's the kind of growth that I wanted to see a little bit more. Like he takes what the defense gives him, but he's just not reading. I feel like Randall, and this gets a lot of Knicks fans upset. Lately, he catches the ball, he be open, he doesn't shoot it. He waits, starts posting up, reading what the defense is gonna do, and then he goes and makes his move. And RJ's just not doing that. I mean, especially yesterday, he was forcing it. I mean, that dunk that he tried to do over like 4 guys.
And how far it was too. I didn't even think he was gonna make it to the rim, but it surprised me. He got it. It looked honestly without the defender there, he makes the dunk. But to go up against one of the who was that wasn't it Walker Kessler he tried to dunk on?
He was cooking us, man.
Like Walker Kessler is one of the best uh
Shot
blocking
block.
big men in the league. I
Yeah.
mean, I got him in fantasy, so I know I picked him up this year for a reason. I was like, nah, I gotta pick this guy up at least 3-4 blocks per game. Like this guy is a force to be reckoned with. And RJ thought he really had it.
He's been struggling though, right?
Kessler, yeah, he has been compared to what he was doing last year. He has, but even
Yeah.
still, the blocks are still there. You know what I mean? Like regardless of the fact that maybe he's not scoring as much,
Hey
blocks are
man,
still
Utah
there.
got a lot of bigs. They got to throw one over here. They got to throw one over here. I
Use
like
it
the
right.
way I'll take a little Kelly Olynyk. I like what
Yeah, he
a
could
little.
shoot too. He could shoot, and that's the other thing that we don't have. Like we don't got the versatility that of a big man that can spread the floor. You know, although Hardenstein, he was when we got him. Oh, he could shoot the three, but the man barely shot 10 threes in the season, and although he might have hit it at the high clip, it was like 10 threes, like the volume wasn't there. And we actually haven't seen him shoot the three much this year either. Although he is a great passer and whatnot, but we adding a guy like Olynyk or just a big that can stretch the floor. There's not many, but at least if we could get a hands on one, it could definitely add a different style to our team that we could use right now. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
especially
let's
now
sleep
that
on him,
Mitch is
huh?
out. We definitely got to change it up, and maybe that's what Zebo's talking about. My man Gibson's gonna be in the corner. Gibson got the
Oh no,
corner
here we
three. You
go.
know what I
Here we
mean?
go. Don't
Gibson could extend the floor low key, man. Low key, he can.
don't
I
do
mean,
that
be
again.
honest. Did those two? I mean, be honest. Did those two rebounds from Jericho Sims did it actually encourage you that you want this man on the floor? Come on
I
now.
mean, well, how many minutes he played? He
Come
played
on
like
now.
15
He
minutes.
played
So
like
come on.
15. Nah, but so the thing is with Sims
I'll
is
give. I'd rather give those minutes to Taj. I'll be honest with you.
Bro, Taj is like 49 years old, bro. Give it up. Taj is he's like the coach. He should be an
You'll
assistant coach.
see.
I
You'll
would
see.
give it to Sims though. He did pretty good defense last night in the beginning.
yeah, I think so too, man.
Yeah, Zebo's hating over here. But
And he got
I'm
decent
not.
hands. Julius Randle was
I'm not.
passing him the ball, he was catching it. I'm like, yo, but Mitchell Robinson was dropping a lot of these passes and fumbling a lot of them. Not to compare the two, but there's a lot of things that I saw from
Nah,
Sims.
Jericho Sims is alright. He's
He
good.
did he did okay. He did okay. Not
He's
gonna lie.
good. He's just still developing. Which I will be surprised. I'm not even gonna throw no RJ slander. I'm honestly not. I think you know what Don Juan said. Give him a B minus. I'm good with that. Like he's like the shot. I'm not necessarily worried about just because at the beginning of the season he was shooting like 45-50% from three. Like we was
We
not
figured it had to
like come on.
regress.
That's not yeah. It was gonna regress at some point.
yeah.
And you have to look at it too. I'll be honest. He might be our most reliable free throw shooter. I think I trust him a little. I think I trust him a little more than Jalen Brunson right now. Like
Yeah,
my boy's shooting 82% from the free throw line. So that's why I'm not too worried about the shooting. I think the shooting will come. I obviously want him to make better decisions, but I mean, again, I think at this point, I know Triple M is waiting for this, is waiting for this pop from him. But I just think this is what he is. He just needs to be a little better, consistent shooter. But he brings it on the defensive end. Like he was, like I think yesterday, even though he was shooting bad, he was our best defender. So, you're not
Oh
gonna, yeah.
no. He wasn't watching the game. He fell asleep. He fell asleep.
He
He
said
fell
he got
asleep
work
at
in the
the game.
morning. He said he
He
got
fell
work
He
in
was
the
asleep.
morning.
active. He was active.
He was
He was active on the
Actively not
floor.
on his man.
He was active. He was active on the floor, man.
You
Listen,
could
I'm
tell,
not.
you could tell Zebo fell asleep and didn't watch the game. It's all
Man,
good,
he's
man.
not bad.
I was
Nah,
I was
man.
nodding off too at the end of the first quarter.
Closing
You know?
out on
The
non-shooters.
first
Come
quarter was
on, man.
bad. The first quarter. Listen, I'm not. Listen, that the first half was bad. It was completely bad. But the second half, I think he did. He was alive. Like he was there.
Zebo,
Defense.
If
He
that's
was
what you
watch
there.
count as playing
quarter.
defense, being alive, man, we all great defenders.
Watch
But
that
I
second
mean, it
quarter.
is what it is, man. But
Somebody, yo,
yeah,
Al,
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
Send Zebo the game. Send Zebo the game via Instagram because he obviously didn't watch it and he just said
Nah,
He was out there. I mean, listen.
he was
Listen.
out there.
Everyone play. I
he
mean,
keeps he
listen.
keeps
I
switching up the
mean, listen.
terminology. He was
I
alive.
mean,
He was acting. Now he was just out there.
I mean, but he has been. I mean, but listen. Who's been our two best defenders literally this season?
I don't know.
I
It's
mean,
probably
it's RJ. I mean,
quickly, and probably Mitch. The first, definitely.
actually, who's been our three? I think it's Mitch. I think it's Mitch. Even though he's been shooting bad, I think it's still Grimes, and it's been RJ. Like
Not
those
over.
are three. Those are three best defenders on the team.
Oh, man.
I don't know, man. We'll
Yo,
keep up.
Zebo is traumatized from the RJ slander days, getting
I'm
bullied.
not, but I
He
mean,
ain't trying to get
he's
bullied no more.
okay. I mean,
Zebo's being too nice. I'm getting a little confused right now. I had to take him off because I don't know if he's trolling right now. He's obviously trolling. Zebo is going crazy right now with the troll.
Yo.
Yo,
Triple M.
Zebo.
I don't know if he's enjoying the moment. He's like, yeah, let me just like not hype
What's
it
in
up.
that water bottle? What's in that water bottle?
That's Frugal.
Yeah, it has to be that white blue guy because he's going crazy, Zebo. But yo, fellas, what a show! Fun show, quarter season here in the books, and
Yeah.
we'll see how we at. We'll see how we'll be next week. What's the vibes next week? It might be a
Ooh.
somber mood in here, but we'll keep it pushing here. And you already know, man. We're gonna be talking about it. Zebo came in late to the show, so I'm gonna let you, Lil Sean. Anything you want to get off your chest here as we get up out of here?
Man, no, and it's looking like a December for the Knicks and everybody here. So let's just try to, we'll be high. Our guys are gonna pull through the stretch. I don't think we'll be undefeated, obviously, but we'll be good. So just keep tuning in, man. Keep tapping in with the guys, and yeah, man, we'll be good. Be good. It's gonna be a good holiday. It's gonna be a good little holiday season in the next few weeks.
Hopefully. And I got Al, man. First of all, bro, thank you for always supporting, giving feedback.
Hey, thanks for
You really one of those that give a lot of feedback and come at me or come at Zebo or whoever it might be you disagree with. So appreciate that, and thank you for finally joining the show. You know, you have an open invite. You know,
Thank
anytime you want to come on, you hit me up or hit up anybody, any of us, and we'll love to talk Knicks. But anything you want to say here as we get up out of here?
So what is it called? We got the Indiana game coming up. There's going to be so many narratives with Halliburton versus Brunson for that All-Star spot. Obi's revenge game. Can our defense stop that high powered offense? I swear they score like 140 points a game. And that brings me to my other point. The Knicks' biggest issue is one of our is getting abuse from the 3-point line, and Tibbs has to fix that. So let's see what we do. And I mean, I can't wait for the next show. And whenever you guys want to have me over, let me know. But we need to fix that 3-point defense. That's imperative. Let's get on that.
I hear that. Don Juan.
Hey, again, Al, thank you for joining us. It was great to have you. You spit a lot of gems tonight. It was nice to finally even meet you, even though this is all virtual and whatnot. But have that personal conversation too as well, man. But nonetheless, man, let's just hope Knicks hit some free throws and play some defense out on the road. We've actually haven't seen that in a while. So I hope to see that. I hope to see that. I hope that smack in the face gives them a little wake up call that at the end of the day, I know it's a long season, and they're like, you know what, one loss is one loss, but nah, man, this is the NBA, and the season could go by in the blink of an eye, and even for us, I mean, we living in life, and I felt like yesterday was Thanksgiving, and tomorrow's gonna be Christmas. Like these days are flying by. Next thing you know, playoffs is here, and we got to make sure we in it. So, and it's a tight race in the East Coast, and these games aren't. We can't take these games for granted, no matter the competition. So this West Coast trip is gonna be a wake up call for realistically, for us and the fans, because we all have our expectations. So we hopefully this team proves a lot of us right, especially me, that I got a couple dollars on that over 47.
Oh
But
man,
nonetheless, man, I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure to subscribe. As we approaching that 1K subscribers, that giveaway coming soon. We literally missing like maybe like six subs, man. So tell a friend to tell a friend. Got a giveaway coming out for y'all, man. Just make sure to like and subscribe. We appreciate y'all that been riding with us along this journey. And yeah, let's go Knicks, man. Got a tough stretch ahead, man. Let's stick together here.
the vibes is a little like shaky, and I don't blame you guys. It's a little shaky. Everybody's a little nervous.
It's like a weird send off here. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's like let's go Knicks, even though we might lose 5 in a row, but yeah, it is what it is, man. Even the stretch might be tough. We might lose a couple games. I still really believe in this team, and I believe in the pieces that we can make. I think Leon has made a move every trade deadline or every year, at least one. There was the Derrick Rose, there was the Josh Hart. What was it 2 years
Well,
ago?
the cam too.
Yeah, so I think he will shuffle the deck. I really hope he consolidates one of these guards and gets a little piece in here. So even even if we struggle, I still believe in the long term outlook of this team. I still feel we're gonna be solid. The East is so bad. The East, like you got the Wizards, you got the Hornets, you got the Hawks.
Got the
You got
Pistons.
so many bad teams. The Pistons, yeah, you got so many bad teams that the Knicks are gonna be battling. And if you give this team a chance to battle, I feel good how they come out the other side. We just gotta lock in. It's just mental things, free throws, 3-point shooting, come in, defense, intensity, point of attack. Defense was very important with it. It's just those little details that we sometimes lack, and it's pretty frustrating. But we'll see how we react these next few games. Not gonna be easy, but I'm feeling high. I'm feeling high. And like Don Juan Zebo said, and make sure to like, subscribe, as that giveaway is coming soon. Al Diddy, thanks for joining with your narratives and your agendas, just spewing all over the show. You already know.
Me, bro.
Thanks for Island Podcast. Thank you for joining, man. We out of here. Peace.